Here is some info and tasting notes for the Nikka Coffey Grain whiskey. So this is sometimes misleading for people because they think that there is actually coffee inside this whiskey, but there isn't. The idea is that the coffee, the way that it's spelled, refers to the coffee still. So the coffee still is a continuous still in style where it differs from those beautiful copper pot stills. It's a little bit more effective at making grains. So grain whiskey is usually distilled inside of a coffee still. You're looking at, your white spirits will also be using a similar type of still. So it's just very effective at making a good quality alcohol, but not necessarily imparting as much character to the spirit. So this here is quite unique because they have gone and made essentially a grain whiskey. So it's got a combination of grains, quite largely corn, and they've done it in the same still that they'll make as a grain whiskey in at the Nikka distillery. But instead of blending it like they'd normally do, they've actually released it on its own, and the result is quite unusual. So if you have a look at it, it's obviously spent some, a decent amount of time in some wood. You're looking at probably between 8 to 12 years. So it's got a nice warm glow to it. But when you get onto the nose and onto the flavors, where the real difference is with this whiskey. So instead of just coming across like a Japanese kind of corn, almost like a bourbon, it's very, very different from that. Because on the nose, you're going to get huge tropical notes. You're looking at like mango, papaya, definitely a lot of sweet fruits. But yeah, very, very bright and very tropical on the nose. So very different to any other bourbon, for example, that you might have tried. So definitely still in its own category. If you have a taste of that, you're going to get more of those tropical fruits coming through. You're definitely going to get some citrus elements too, but you also get quite a nice, almost like a caramel corn. So you get that sweetness. You do get that corn coming through a little bit on the palate. And then also a nice warm kind of spice, which I'd imagine probably comes from the wood a fair amount too. So just quite a different departure. Really interesting to see how they've managed to manipulate the flavor of a grain whiskey into something really adventurous and exciting. So I hope you enjoy the Nikka Coffey Grain whiskey.